What's up guys, I'm back with another video, and today we're taking a look at the Chomp from XS-FOTO, spelled with an F. So after I did my review of the dummy mount, you guys got really excited about it. Now I don't know if that was because of the idea behind a mouth mount or if it was for the actual giveaway going on with that video, but this is the Chomp, so it's a competitor to the dummy mount, and it does have some interesting and unique features. So the first is, well, the design of it is very similar to the dummy mount on some ways. So the first is that it does have a mouth grip that goes in your mouth. Now it's a little bit different. The mouthpieces itself is a little bit smaller, so the part of which you can actually bite onto is smaller. It does have a breathing hole in the front of it, so you can breathe through your mouth. But the one thing I did appreciate with the Chomp is that the front of that breathing port is actually closed, and you breathe air up from the bottom, which means that there's less of a chance of spray getting in. So if you're using this in spray, this front piece being solid would act to stop spray coming into your mouth, something that the dummy mount did not have. Then there's this very interesting looking leash which keeps it on your head. So well, we'll just go ahead and put this on here, and that's fine, and it looks pretty good like this, but it gets a little bit more interesting once you put it in your mouth. We'll go ahead and slap our camera on again, using your camera upside down mounted on the bottom. Going to put the camera very close to being in front of your chin. There's no floaty backpack included with these, and after spending some time with it, I would recommend that you do pick up a floating backpack for your camera, because definitely something we learned when using the dummy mount was that that does do a lot for added stability. And then once you're ready, you just go ahead and throw this into your mouth to start shooting. So you may have noticed that that mount appeared to be quite a bit further away from my face than the dummy mount did in my review of that. And if we put that floaty back door onto our GoPro camera and do that same thing again, we will see just how true that is. Now, what you may notice is that floaty backpack, well, it sort of kind of maybe is touching my chin. It's not making that much contact, which means that the effects of dampening, motion and movement dampening, which happen because of that floaty back door, can't really take place, and that movement isn't really dampened using that floaty back door, which was one of the really amazing things I found with a dummy mount. That floaty back door was jammed into your chin, which wasn't really that uncomfortable, and also added a huge amount of stability to the camera, which the Chomp doesn't really seem to accomplish. It's conclusion time. Now, you probably all know what my thoughts are on mouth mounts. I was mind blown by the dummy mount. I thought that mouth mounting was really cool, and it's the way forward, and it produced really stable shots, which I was totally surprised by, and it looked like the footage we got out of it is awesome. All of those same things are true with the Chomp. Its mouth mounting is great. Now, the one thing that I would say about the Chomp is that my footage wasn't quite as stable because there was a little bit of movement up and down, because I didn't have the ability to support my chin using the floaty back door, because it was a little bit further away from my face. And I guess the conclusion then comes out like this, and I'm sorry, I'm comparing it to the dummy mount a lot, but those are really the only two mouth mounts that I've used that I can really talk about. So we're going to keep going back to it, because that's where my experience is. And the Chomp feels heavier duty, and it feels more solid. And with that kind of come a couple trade-offs. So it's got the really heavy-duty silicone strap that makes sure it stays on your body, and that's great. But for my taste, it's almost a little bit too much, and I maybe would have preferred something smaller, more like a leash. But again, that's totally personal, and your mileage will totally vary on that. I love the fact the front is covered to stop water getting into my mouth or spray getting into my mouth and allow it to breathe easy. That fact that they've got the breather hole in the bottom so where it can collect nice, dry, not sprayy air is really cool. And I mean, they feel about the same in my mouth. The thumb screw is very similar. So it kind of comes out. There are two different approaches to the same product. This is a little bit beefier, heavier, more just kind of a more aggressive, larger mount. And the dummy mount is a little bit more small, compact, lighter. And it did kind of win on stability because of its ability to push the floating back door against your chin. So it takes my win on stability, and personally, I would be leaning that way. But again, they're both completely different approaches to the same product. So this is the Chomp from SX Scuba. I love mouth mounts. Mouth mounts are awesome. They're a new way to mount your GoPro camera, and it's kind of revolutionizing how you can use your GoPro. It allows you to just mount it wherever you are I used it sailing, you can use it surfing. It's huge for surfing because you can spit it out, it sits around your chin, and you never have to worry about losing your camera. You've always got it, and when you really want to get those rad shots, you just stick it in your mouth and start shooting. This was another video. Thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed it, check out the video description for information on all the different products, as well as a link to the dummy mount review so you can see what my thoughts are on mouth mounting in general. So check that out. There's a link to the product down in the video description. While you're down there, leave a thumbs up if you don't mind. It does mean a lot. Leave a comment if you've got any suggestions for future videos, things you want to see, things you like, things you don't like. Maybe I talk too much. Leave a comment down there about that. And until next time, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. If you don't already, you should follow me over on Twitter, Kyle Martin Tech. There's a lot of great stuff going on over there, so check that out. And most of all, until next time, thank you very, very much for watching. Oh. Whew.